got shot.
No, I didn't. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go over how to install a wall-mounted tablet with a hidden charging port behind the tablet. This will allow us to have our Home Assistant dashboard here on the wall, easily accessible for all of our different smart home devices, and is in a convenient location and on the wall, and we never have to worry about taking it off to charge it. It's going to stay mounted there and will remain charged until the end of its life. So follow along and I'll show you guys exactly how to get this exact same setup on your wall with just a few easy steps. To complete this installation, there's a handful of key things that we're going to need. First of all, I went with the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8. I think this is the 10-inch screen, something around there. And then there's a handful of these wall mount cases, which is one reason I went with the Galaxy Tab 8. There is actually already 3D printed wall mount cases available on Amazon for the Galaxy A8 Tab. So that's one reason I went with that cheaper model as well to get started with Home Assistant. The other things we'll need is a deep well recessed electrical box, and then a USB outlet to go inside of the deep well receptacle box. Aside from that, potentially might need some wire connectors. We have some Wagyus here for Wagyu. I want to say Wagyu beef, but Wago connectors, however you professional electricians pronounce it. Some electrical tape, of course, some electrical wire. One thing to be mindful of, especially if you are in an already constructed house, is making sure that you have an electrical source nearby that you can access by running the wires through the wall or whatever. So these handful of parts right here, all you need to set up a wall-mounted Home Assistant user interface tablet. One thing I don't have sitting here is a 90-degree charger that obviously plugs into the tablet at a 90-degree angle, and then it's a flat ribbon type wire that sits down in this groove right here and will then be able to be plugged into the wall through the hole in this case mount. So with those pieces outlined now, we'll go to where we're going to mount it, and we'll show you the steps to get it mounted. First step obviously is going to be to locate where you want to mount it. I've chosen this location here by the front door, the main area of our house, open area of the kitchen, dining room, living room, etc. And we have a close by electrical source, so we'll be able to run wires from this outlet switch up to our new deep well receptacle. So your first step, locate where you're going to want to put it. Take your case, play around with it, and find exactly where you're going to want to put it. Then add some marks with the screw holes, whatever. Get it set up here. Then you can take a small level, make sure your box is level, trace it out, and then cut out the drywall. Be extremely mindful of electrical wires behind the receptacle or behind the wall coming out of this outlet. I just scored it with a multi-tool and then kind of finished it off with a knife to be extra careful. So I've actually already taken the liberty of marking it and cutting it, so we're all ready to push this in and get the piece of drywall out. And then I've also already cut away some of the insulation that will be kind of in our way. So then our next steps will be to install this box all the way in the wall. Obviously we'll have to knock out our knockouts to fish the wire through, and before that we're going to have to take this cover off and access this box so we can fish wires from this box up to this box. And of course, make sure your breaker is turned off for this, and if you're not comfortable, hire an electrician. But it should be pretty simple for most people. Ah! Oh! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh! Oh! Ah! Oh! 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 Just a back spasm, not electrocuted.
I broke my back. My back is broken. Spinal.
All right, power's back on. Got this USB receptacle outlet mounted. Everything's screwed back in place. Everything's working good. Now let me find that ribbon charger. Look at that, it's in my pocket. So before we completely mount this, let's make sure the charging works. Here's the little 90-degree ribbon type charging cord that comes with your wall mount case. You can see it fits on there nice and flush so that it can fit behind the wall. And we're just going to test to make sure this outlet is working and charging. This cord is working. And right there you can see it is charging, it is working, so that's all good. So what we're going to do now is going to take the back piece of your case, line it up with your holes, etc., and then get the couple of screws that go into the deep well box there. And this was what we'll mount the case on. It is all plastic pieces, so be careful over screwing these. Should probably use a screwdriver, but we can feather it in there a little bit and be careful and we'll be all right. So then that's pretty much it. We're almost done. I was thinking about throwing a level on it to see if it was within an acceptable range, but I seem to have misplaced the level, so we'll just deal with that later. Now you take your tablet. I like to make sure this ribbon is sitting flat so it'll sit against the wall flush. Get it plugged into your USB, and then you just push that on there. Take your outer case, your frame, some might call it. You got to kind of work it on very easily, one corner at a time. Definitely better that it's tight instead of loose, but it is a little fidgety to get on there, but that just tells you that it's going to stay on there. So that's all good. Now we'll open up the tablet, hide the password in case any of you fools come to my house and try to break into my tablet on the wall. And now we have the tablet working, charging. It's all good. Another video, we might show you how to set up a fully kiosk browser, as they call it, or a kiosk mode, which will lock your tablet into whatever screen or app you want it to. You can link a URL or whatever. So we have Home Assistant linked into our dashboard, and now you can clearly see we're all set up. Here is our Home Assistant dashboard. Seems to be kind of lagging right now for some reason. And we're still building our dashboard, but that's pretty much it. And then we can, clean up our project, put our outlet covers back on, things like that. But that pretty much wraps it up for the tablet install. I'll put links in the descriptions for all of it, in the single description. I'll put links in the description for all of these different parts so you guys can easily locate them and buy them and install them yourself, just like I did. So hope this helps somebody, and yeah, thank you guys. Bye.